everybody, welcome to the show. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Raising A to Z. My name is Amanda. I am a teacher turned homeschool mom, and today I'm talking about how to build a homeschool routine / rhythm that really works for your family. I think having a solid routine or rhythm, whatever you want to call it, is super important. Kind of knowing what you're going to do every day, what needs to be done, not just with your homeschooling, but with your house and with appointments and errands and taking care of yourself. There's all these things that we need to, as homeschool parents, keep juggling, and having a routine or a really good rhythm really helps make that so much easier because you already know what's coming in your week. You already know what the focus and the purpose of each day is, and it just really gives you one less thing to think about, because I already know what we're going to be doing on a Friday. I already kind of know what my Wednesdays look like. So today I'm going to show you how to build a really good homeschool routine or rhythm that is going to work for your family. But before I do that, why don't you jump down here and click subscribe and then click the bell so you get notifications so you can get more videos like this. Let's jump in. I'm going to show you how I build a routine or a rhythm. The reason I call it a rhythm or a routine is because it kind of has a flow, but it's not super structured and blocked. So I don't get up and say, okay, we're doing this from this time to this time to this time. I have kind of a flow of what happens that day, but if it's off by an hour, it's not the end of the world. That's kind of what we're doing today. So I figured this is the easiest way to explain it to you guys. I have my handy dandy Post-its. You could do this in a notebook if you want. I do find making the visuals really helpful, but because we're doing it on a large scale and for film today, I'm using Post-its today. So I have my days of the week. You could do Saturday and Sunday as well. I do have flows for Saturday and Sunday, but just for the sake of this video, we're making it a little bit easier on us. I have Monday through Friday at the top, and then I have morning, afternoon, and evening. I find that's kind of how our days run. Not so much time blocked, but more like really large blocks of time. The first thing that I like to think about when I am building my homeschool routine, routines and rhythms change throughout the year. So what my rhythm looks like from September to kind of December, totally different than what my, May to July routine looks like. They're two totally different times of the year for us, which means we have two totally different flows. So just because you're making a routine right now does not mean that this routine is going to function for you in 3, 6, 12 months from now. I find that our routine and our rhythm changes about 3 times a year, sometimes 4, depending on what's going on. But that's okay, because there are things that do stay the same, but there's kind of a flow that adjusts. Don't expect this to be a permanent thing. This is going to change. It's going to change as you have activities that are scheduled on different days, or it's going to change as something comes up and you guys now have to go to appointments once a month or something. Like, you never know. So this is going to change throughout the year, but this at least gives you an idea of where to start. I do this about 3 times a year. Like I said, in a notebook, not necessarily on my dining room table with Post-its, but I do adjust our rhythm a couple times a year. So the first thing we're gonna start with, for clarity's sake and for simplicity, we are gonna start with the things that you cannot change. I think this is the most important part of establishing a routine, is there are things that you cannot change. If I was doing, Monday through Sunday, like church is on Sunday, I cannot make church be on a Tuesday. It just doesn't happen. Church is on a Sunday. That is the day that it is. There are things that are outside of your control, and just acknowledging that those things are outside of your control makes things so much easier. So I'm going to kind of go backwards and use a routine, a rhythm that we used earlier when things were not locked down where we were living. So if you're like, she really did all this? Yeah, it's a little bit older for simplicity's sake, right? So some of the things we did play groups on Wednesdays. Playgroup is something that we do. Wednesday morning we go out, we do playgroup. Mondays we did gymnastics. The girls had gymnastics classes on Monday evenings. Oh, Alexi had rock climbing on Thursdays. And the girls visit Grammy Tuesday afternoons. We'll kind of go in the middle because it's kind of a late morning to early afternoon kind of thing. So these are the things in my week that I cannot change. Like, typically. There are things that are kind of outside of my control. They involve other people. These are the things that I kind of have to work around a little bit, right? That makes sense. The next thing that I'm going to put in things that we consider important to our family values and to our family traditions. So for us, we have tea time. We do poetry tea time. We do this on Friday afternoons. This is super important for us as a family. We enjoy it. I think it's just a great routine and tradition to have with my kids. And if we do it Friday afternoons, there's a good chance that Stefan, actually, if he's working, is able to get off when he comes home and he can do it with us. And then we do family movie night or game night on Fridays. And then the other thing we do is baking days. Baking day was Thursday morning. Perfect. I've got some things that we consider important to our family culture. Baking days because of Lexi's food allergies. We have family movie night. We have our poetry tea time. These are things that we just feel are super important. The reason I put them in before school, so some people would argue, well, why don't you put your school in? It's because homeschooling and learning can happen at any time and anywhere. So just because you're putting in seat work time does not mean that's the only time your kids are learning. One of the great benefits about homeschooling is that you have these opportunities to build really strong family culture and really strong family connections. And so I actually prioritize those things over seat work. And I think that is what you should be doing. You should be prioritizing things that strengthen your family and that strengthen your kids' physical and mental health over sitting down and doing workbooks. So that's why doing workbooks is not the first thing on our list. It is not even the second thing on our list. Our visiting family, going to different play groups, rock climbing and getting physically active, gymnastics, those things, as well as our family culture, those are the two top things that we focus on, which is why they're the first things that go on schedule. Now, we can get into subjects and actually seat work. So for subjects and seat work, I have what I call my seat work block. So I'm just gonna break that down for you. So our seat work block includes reading, writing, and math. So the kids do their language arts writing, they do their math, and we read a story. That is what we do for seat work. So I'm not gonna write that up every time, but for seat work, so we do seat work Monday mornings, we do it Tuesday mornings before we go to Grammys, and we do it Thursday mornings. So you'll see that sometimes I have a couple things on the same day because it doesn't always take as long as, it takes me about 45 minutes to do my baking. So I can do 2, sometimes 3 things in a time block, but at least this is helpful that I know that I don't want to have more than that. So I might have 2 different things that happen on this kind of in the same time block. So I have seat work and baking happens on Thursday mornings. I know that, but it also doesn't take my whole morning. Like if I'm thinking from 9 till noon, I'm not doing 3 hours of school with my kids. They do about an hour. Then we have about an hour to do baking, and then I have an hour to tidy up, get lunch ready, that kind of stuff. So I try not to put more than 2 activities in a time block. I find it's just the easiest. You don't want to overwhelm yourself because you want to have time to be spontaneous and to go down rabbit trails, but you also want to be able to enjoy. During this time, I'm going to include things that are not just my seat work. So we're going to do art. We do art or sensory bins on Friday mornings. It's part of our Friday Fun Day routine. We're going to also put in music. So we have music or piano lessons. The girls get 15-minute lesson late afternoon or whatever, whenever Stephen comes home. Okay? Boom. So that's all of our academic work that we're going to be planning into our week. The other thing that I also put in is on Monday we do a double block of a unit study. So this is when we'll do our extra hands-on activity that goes with our theme of the month. And so that comes in right after our seat work time because we kind of have a more relaxed Monday. Basically we've our homeschool afternoon off, and then we do a quick music lesson and head to gymnastics. So it's kind of a chill day. Then after that, we are going to start getting into the things that mom needs to do or that the homeschool parent is doing. So these are where I put in my errands and my chores. So for example, on Wednesdays, I put in groceries. We do groceries on our way home from playgroup because we're already in town and it's 10 minutes from the playgroup place. So that's when we hit up and do my weekly grocery shop. I also try to do a little bit of dusting on Mondays, and on Tuesdays I mop the floors. I try while the girls are at Grammys. Because when someone's not running through your wet floors, it makes it so much easier to clean. Those are a couple things that I try to do throughout the week. Boom, those are my errands. That's kind of when I try to schedule them in. Some of the things that I like to put in now are things that are good for me as the mom. So I'm talking like self-care. If you have not seen my video on how self-care for homeschool parents, you need to check that out. We'll put a link up here. I think it's so important to include things that are self-care into your routine so that it just becomes normal. So for one of the things that I do is Friday afternoons, I do my weekly planning. So I just kind of look forward in my week and figure out what's gonna happen, as well as my meal planning and grocery list, all kind of in one sitting. So that's a big thing. I do it just before poetry tea time. That's something that I do for my own sanity. Like that's something that's super important for me. We also like to have date night. And by date night, I mean like an at-home date where as soon as the kids go to bed, we just kind of hang out and do, watch a movie or play a game or do something that is just about connecting with my husband. So we have like a date night that is often Tuesday. This is my routine. This is my kind of flow of our week. And the reason it works is because it's not about filling every moment of your day. It's not about having like a checklist that, okay, you check off. These are a few of the things that happen. And then if I have time to add in some things. So for example, on Wednesdays, I have a pretty big block of time. If I need, we can have to go outside, we can go for a walk. I have more options to do something here. I have some blocks of like free time in my week to be spontaneous, to do something fun with the kids, to tackle a project that needs to happen around the house, whether that's laundry, or if I have, because we had a weird week and I had extra laundry, or if I have to like rearrange a closet, I have a day to do that. If we are painting a room, we have some time to do that. So I know what my flow is though. So I know that on Monday mornings, we're gonna after breakfast, we're up, we're getting dressed, and we're starting with our seat work. We do a unit study activity. Then we're gonna grab some dusters and we're gonna dust the house. Boom. Then it's probably, if I have time, if we're done quickly, then the kids can go play and I can do whatever I wanna do or whatever I need to do before lunch. After lunch, we always have quiet time. After quiet time, the kids have a quick piano lesson. I make dinner and then we go to gymnastics. Boom, that's my Monday. I'm not like stuck to a specific time. Right? I know what is going to happen and I know where we're kind of going with the week. I have a plan and a purpose for every day, but I'm also not overwhelming myself with doing too many things. There's definitely time for us to enjoy just kind of hanging out and relaxing, and I've built in time for us to have family time and focus on things that are important for us as a family. So I think this is probably one of the easiest ways to build a successful homeschool routine or rhythm, whatever you want to call it, because it really does give you flexibility to add things in or to shift things around, but you're also getting all kind of like the big things done throughout the week. And it's giving you purpose for every day. I know, especially during all of this COVID time and stuff, this has been such a sanity saver when every day feels like the same. I know that, okay, obviously this is a little bit different because it has activities in it, but I know that, okay, on this day, it's the grocery day, this is what we're doing, I know that's the purpose. On Fridays, I know the purpose of Friday is to do fun activities. Let's do our sensory bin, our poetry tea time, watch a movie. I know the purpose of every day is, and so that I'm not constantly in my brain trying to plan out and entertain the kids all day, because they kind of have a flow. They know what's coming, I know what's coming, and it just makes life a little bit easier, especially when you're with your kids constantly. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make a successful homeschool routine for your family. If you like this video and other videos, again, subscribe, click the bell. And if you want to see how our family flow works in real life, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next week.